Why don't we get started? It is,
Just relax.
Yeah.
thank you, it's 9:40, so we
Part of this committee, so...
we can start on time. We have a quorum, and can I get a motion to approve the minutes of the last meeting? Supervisor Leggett, seconded by... Yes, we do. We need three, so, 1, 2, 3. Plus the chairman, so...
I just wasn't sure.
Yeah. So, all those in favor?
Aye.
Jennifer?
We're moving on to the June financials. As you can see, there is about, the second page that has some of the notes on there, there's about $996,000 available to lend. We spoke a little bit last month about a marketing program for this loan fund, and I did reach out to our Business Review Committee members to get some feedback from them, and we'll be working with them as well to come up with a way to get people aware that these funds are available and get them back out to the community. Your accounts payable, there's about $26,000. I just wanted to note those were the professional services contracts. That's between EPC and Warren County LDC. Those contracts were finally signed, and I did the drawdowns on those last month as well. And then if you move to the profit and loss budget versus actual for June, just a couple of things to note for you. The loan interest collected is under budget due to a couple of early loan payoffs. And again, I just mentioned the accounts payable, and so you'll see in June the other side of that, the expense January through June for the EDC contract. And then one other item on the profit and loss year-to-date budget versus actual. Just a reminder that under housing, the $5,250 that there is for county home program that was for septic for a county constituent. And other than that, I don't have any other comments on the financial statements unless somebody else has any questions.
Supervisor Leggett. Why don't we just get it on the floor first? Supervisor Leggett, seconded by Supervisor Simpson. In favor, go ahead.
Yeah, when you have the early payoffs
Yes.
on these loans, does that show up in the Glens Falls operating?
No, it'll show up in the loan fund, so that's why you'll see we've had an increase in cash there and a decrease in the receivable.
So under assets?
Yep, under assets. If you look under the loan receivable, that's down to $781,000. There was about $150,000
Okay.
decrease in that. So the cash increased about $150,000. The loan receivable decreased about $150,000, and then it subsequently affects the interest that we would have collected on that.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. Can all those in favor of the approval of the June 2019 financial statement, say aye?
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? No opposed. Number 3, Jennifer. Review and approval of exchange of collateral for current loan.
So we have currently a borrower who is who's applied for some funding through the CFA process to purchase a piece of property in Johnsburg and relocate a part of their business. And in doing so, part of the project is the sale of a piece of property that they're currently using for collateral. So really today, we're really not ready to get any kind of approval for you because there's a lot of moving pieces, some of which have to do with, it's not just LDC that's involved in this, it's also the Farm Bureau that's involved in this as well. They're part of the project, so they're looking for some guarantees that aren't going to come about until August. We've requested both a stub search and a reappraisal of the remaining properties that they have. I can tell you that if they sell the one piece of property that we currently have for collateral, the 2 other pieces that we have cover the balance of the remaining loan. But we all know how fragile that can be, so we'll still look for to exchange that one piece of property for the newly purchased and renovated piece of property if this all comes to fruition. But we just wanted to kind of give you a heads up because it will be a lot to, there's a lot of moving pieces, and so we wanted to get that started before we get too late, because again, we all know how long it takes to get we only have meetings once a month and the timing of it. So that's really, today was really more of a, just a review for you of what's going on and what might be coming down the pike in the next couple of months.
Yeah, just
The
as
important part of this is the first lien holder is Farm Credit. They have a very similar federal process, similar to SBA, that guarantees that. So as Jen has alluded to, that needs to be in place. They don't expect to hear back until the end of August for that. In the interim, we will receive the real estate appraisal. We will receive the stub search to see that the properties are in good shape. This is basically being done so that they can be in an area where there's a greater accessibility to the traffic. So essentially, the operation will remain at one site, their farm operation, and the final manufacturing component and somewhat of a retail operation will be in this new location in the area. So that we hope to have all of that completed and at most likely the September meeting or August. If there's just a contingency left, will be the CFA process that they're applying for is an integral part of this whole process, and we know that the application was submitted Friday. The award will not be announced until December, so that will be a contingency included in there if the other components. So they're not going to be able to go forward with this project until they get the CFA award. If they don't get the award, then they've got to go back and reevaluate whether they can get this done or not. But it's something that I think will help their operations immensely to be in a more setting that is conducive for manufacturing as well as for on a little bit higher traffic rate on this new location than in the current town.
You know, I think this is just a great example of, you might say, the value and effectiveness of LDCs. It's just the business plan, the people involved I find them to be somewhat inspiring and hardworking, and they just seem to have a degree of effectiveness in terms of their ability to maybe capture the imagination of grocery store suppliers, maybe on a national basis. So again, I think again, every time they appear here in public, I'm inspired a little bit, and I think and the picture of that one goat on the front of their that's my favorite. Jennifer, number.
Sure. The next item is approval of a payment to Atlantic Testing Laboratories. I'm looking for approval of $2,062.53 to Atlantic Testing Labs. This represents a 5% cash match that's required by a grant agreement with New York State Housing Trust Fund Corporation in conjunction with the project for the
Countryside
adult home.
Warford.
And the county was looking for some assistance with the 5% cash match. Some of I mentioned before in the financial statements that some of the payments that we had made out, this is all part of that housing program and some of those funds. And because they had originated through the New York State Housing Trust Fund Corporation, they can be utilized in this fashion. So this is a request from Pat Tadich and the Planning Department with approval from Wayne to make this payment to Atlantic Testing Laboratories.
Great. Put on the floor by Supervisor Simpson, second by Supervisor Leggett. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Great. Ed, do we...
No, there's no need for an executive.
Great. So any discussion on it? Go ahead. Yeah.
Related to the review of the loan portfolio, you've actually gotten 2 summaries this month, and I just wanted to point out the longer version is something that you'll be seeing moving forward. Back in June, the ABO came out with some additional requirements for reporting for any entity that was under the auspices of PAAA. Part of that is, and So anyone that has a loan program, the loan purpose and whether the loan is actually current or delinquent needs to be something that is available to the public. So that's been added to this summary, as well as we have to actually carry forward for 2 years any loans that we've had, whether it's been successful, unsuccessful, paid in full. So you'll be seeing that information as well. So I just wanted to let you know those are the two differences, and this is something that information is now available to the public as well.
Great,
There's a
thank you.
couple of other items in there that were also part of this pronouncement that are we were already in compliance with that are on the website. So, and that's
Thank you
all.
very much. Any questions as it relates to the loan portfolio? Any questions from the audience? Any old or new business that anyone wants to bring up? That being said, thank you for keeping us on time. Motion to adjourn by Supervisor Simpson, second by Supervisor Leggett. All those in favor? Thank you. Thank you, Christie. Appreciate it.